Hi there, my name is Jennifer Thomas and I'm the owner of the Artisans Edge barbershops located in Gravenhurst and Huntsville. The Artisans Academy is an extension of my company that I already own, the Artisans Edge. And in some ways, it's also the foundation. When attending school, students are required to complete a minimum of 1,500 hours of theory and practical training. In Ontario, where trades is actually a very large part of our economy, anyone desiring a career in hairstyling must apprentice under a qualified person, meeting minimum training and ultimately being licensed. Our academy will allow us to do just that, training others in a trade of hairstyling, starting many onto a lifelong and satisfying career. Well, I'm going to go back a few years. When I was in grade 10, actually, I had a visit to my guidance counselor's office, and she asked me what I wanted to do with my life, and I didn't really know. I was just a young kid at the time. But so she suggested you should take the cosmetology course across town at the other high school. So I did. I took a non-compulsory credit in cosmetology, and I learned that if I took more credits and actually completed the program, I could graduate with a hairstyling license. So I did that. I graduated high school with 10 credits in cosmetology and wrote my test and was licensed on September 13th of 1993. Which led me to this, I fell back on my trade over the years, but when I moved to Muskoka, it actually led me on this journey of the Artisan's Edge. I opened up a small space, actually across the street, in the historical Albion building, and just a small space with one chair. And it wasn't very long, and I had to eventually obviously hire people because we were getting very busy. But I realized one day when I was cutting hair, I thought, one day I'm going to have too many clients and I'm going to have to turn people away. And I was like, that's a terrible thing. I don't want to ever turn anybody away. So I decided that I would at some point have to hire more people and build my business. And I remember one of my clients said to me that I should read this book called The E-Myth. And in the book, it says that as entrepreneurs, it's actually our job to create jobs for others. And so I did that. I started working on my business instead of in it. And I realized that in order to grow my business, I needed to help others achieve their professional goals. And that's where the idea of the academy came to me, because I knew that not only would it help my current business to grow, but it would also help other businesses as well. And by training and teaching our own, which is what we already do anyway, our community, our schools, and more would benefit from our college. Almost every person needs a haircut if you have hair. So I know that the demand for our particular trade will always obviously be there. And seeing my own business growing from just a few dozen in 2017 to now many thousand, I can tell you that I could see a very large potential for the Artisans Academy to grow even faster. I'd like to put it in Bracebridge. I already have the 2 locations, as I mentioned, in Huntsville and Gravenhurst. So the heart of Muskoka just makes sense. And that was kind of the plan all along, that we would kind of circle around back to the middle. And I think that, of course, we want to create jobs all over Muskoka. So it'll help all 3 communities for sure. Well, the first year, it would be great if we had 5 students. That would be definitely a goal. But potentially, I'd love to see 20, 30, 40 per semester. That would be awesome. But the sky's the limit. Of course, I'm not going to stop I'm never going to stop growing. But potentially 5 or 10 to start. For approximately 10 months, I hope to start our students off in the same schedule as the high school, so September, so that we could be on the same schedule. Then they would finish up in June. All the money will go towards building our curriculum. We've got registration fees, we've got educational tools that are needed in order to build the curriculum, which I will personally do myself with assistance from the Ontario Ministry of Colleges and Universities, who I've already been working with. But really, it's going to lay the groundwork for the opportunity for others to get into the trade. It's going to change their lives. It'll in turn create jobs and future employment for so many people. And it'll really be essentially the beginning of the academy. It's a foundation. So that $10,000 will do a lot for us. It'll really get us started.